my name is Angela Davis and I'm the 4M quilter. Today I'm going to show you 2 block patterns to use up some scraps and pull some fabric from your stash that you can never quite figure out what to do with. Join me. Hello and welcome. My name is Angela Davis and today we're just doing a little impromptu video. It's Saturday here in Struthers, Ohio. It's snowing, so a great day to sit and sew. And what I've done here is I pulled this fabric from a bin, and I really think I should relabel that bin the Lost and Found, because I forgot I had it and I don't remember where I got it or how long I've had it. I can never quite figure out how to incorporate this, and I don't want to hide it on the back of a quilt. So I pulled it and I thought, let me cut a couple of strips off of it and grab some scraps and see what I can do. Well, I made 2 windmill designs. This is the first one, and I have a pattern link below so that you can recreate this particular block. This one is just 4 half square triangles. It's a great way to just have a lazy day of sewing, cutting squares and making half square triangles and cutting strips. Now, at first when I started thinking about scrap busting, I pulled some fabrics, and I pulled this pink. And as you can see, the pink has that real pretty white imprint floral. And I pulled this gray, which I have some wide strips cut because this I used on the back of a quilt. And I thought pink and gray lend themselves very well together. And I thought that's a great way to use up some of those scraps. So today, that's what we're doing. We're creating 2 windmill blocks and bordering them with that beautiful bird floral pattern so that you can get some ideas about how to do some scrap busting and get those scraps out in the open, and also maybe pull a fabric that you haven't looked at in a couple of years and see what you can do to incorporate that into a block. First, I cut the pink and the gray into squares at 5 1/4 inches, and then I cut them on the diagonal twice to give me 4 small triangles. Sew at a 1/4 inch seam allowance. The bird fabric I cut at 5 inches and cut once on the diagonal. And now we're going to press toward the gray fabric. Now line up your 2 halves and sew at a 1/4 inch. Press to set seams, and then press open toward the floral bird fabric. I ended up cutting these and trimming them down to 4 inches because I was using the presser foot as my guide for my seam allowance, and the presser foot I forgot on my machine that I had on has a little bit wider than a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and that's fine because it's a scrap block. After trimming all 4 blocks, I lay them out so that the pink creates the windmill effect. And I'm going to sew the blocks together, and once the blocks are sewn together, then I'll sew the rows together. When I stitch that seam, I'm stitching so that I'm right on that 1/4 inch seam allowance to get a nice point. It measures approximately 7 1/4 inches. Now I'll just sew the matching triangles together to create 4 half square triangles. Make sure to match up those seams.
And now they're all trimmed to match to size.
Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you take one of these windmill blocks, pull from your scraps, pull from your stash, put them together and see what you come up with. Thanks so much for stopping by today. We'll see you next time.